The outer gods from the dawn of time, innumerable universes have been forged by the hands of the Absolute Ones. The Absolute Ones sought eternity by indulging in ceaseless creation, bringing countless forms of matter, souls, and laws into being. However, the Absolute Ones found themselves yearning to break the boredom of eternity. Thus, they devised a new form of entertainment, and that was by unleashing war. They watched as their creation battled one another. The Absolute Ones found great amusement in watching their creation engage in such destructive behavior. Their creation was condemned to a vicious cycle. They gave their lives to fight an unending war, only to be reborn to meet the same fate. But their sacrifice was necessary to relieve the tedium of their creators. But something unexpected happened during the unending war dash. An Absolute One was slain by one of its own creation. Upon learning of this, the Absolute Ones from across all realms gathered to observe the world that had lost its master. Since one of their kind had been slain by their very own creation, no less, the irony was lost on the remaining Absolute Ones, who were united by a single conviction. This power without a master shall belong to whoever is first to seize it. Back on Earth, we meet the son of the king of Aura farming himself, the son of the Shadow Monarch, the G. The son of Sung Jinwoo was Sung Suho. I got into Korea University of Arts. These words from Sung Suho shocked his friends. How did an uncultured being like you manage to pass the entrance exam for an art school? Shouted one of Suho's friends. The brown-haired boy cried his eyes dry since he had failed, but Suho was just happy that he would be free from this hell. Congratulations, Sung Suho. I heard you say you got into art school. I didn't realize you had such talent. Since when did you even know how to draw? Said a red-haired boy, trying to rage-bait Suho. What is it now, Kim Testicles? Asked Sung Suho. Don't I need to remind you that my name is Kim Terracles? Oh right, Kim Terracles. And for God's sake, look for a dentist. If it weren't for you, Kim Suho, I would have taken over this entire school. Yeah, Kim Terracles. If it weren't for me, Kim Suho, you would never have gotten to graduate. The argument between the two got the other students' attention. Graduation is around the corner. Does Kim Terracles have to be such a child right up to the end? The girl on the left whispered. Seriously, the girl on the right added. Why does he keep picking on Suho? He has just been trying his best to keep his spirit up ever since his parents disappeared. You fucking bastard! Kim Terracles, ready to attack Sung Suho, lunged forward. Sung Suho, as if his body reacted by instinct and self-defense, moved at a terrifying speed, landing a knee attack on Kim Terracles' face. Could your stupidity not wait until graduation? Before Suho could finish his words, it was as if his consciousness had returned in an instant. Surprised at how he was on Kim Terracles' face, the attack lost force and momentum due to Suho's confusion. What the hell was that? Said Kim Terracles, without any ounce of pain. With his fist clenched, an aura engulfed it. His eyes filled with bloodthirst as a sly smile crept on Kim Terracles' face. That didn't hurt at all. With a deafening bang, Kim Terracles' punch smashed into the lockers. Suho barely dodged the attack. The sight terrified Suho to the core, realizing that if that punch had connected with his face, he could have been dead. This scene shocked the two girls who had been observing from afar. Smoke rose from the area of impact, and Kim Terracles' hand smoked like the barrel of a gun after releasing a bullet. Impact had left a serious hole and destruction in a stainless steel locker as if it were made of mud. Sudden action even surprised Kim Terracles, not understanding what was happening to him as he looked at his arm in shock. Sung Suho knew one thing for sure: he was really messed up. Years later, the city had undergone a series of advancements. Sung Suho, now in his sophomore year of college, was caught by distant chatter and murmurs. Looking in the direction of the noise, Suho saw a dungeon gate. Classes in the main hall have been relocated to the annex. Please proceed to the annex in an orderly manner, a man in a suit said through a megaphone. Hunters are currently at work clearing the gate, said one of the suited men. But a crowd had gathered around the gate, taking pictures, each wanting to capture the moment the hunters left. The guards prevented the crowd from getting any closer for their safety. The man in the suit asked how long it had been since the hunters had entered the gate. It was answered, "The hunters have been inside for 8 hours." It has been that long, the hunters may be done. The D-rank gate. Attention, all non-hunters should take a step back for your own safety, the suited man warned. While some college students retreated, others naively insisted, the hunters will surely take care of it. Suho, however, seemed gloomy, lost in thought. It's been 3 years since these gates started manifesting everywhere. The world hasn't been the same ever since. Gates dash a passage between our world and dungeons. Unless a gate is dealt with within a predetermined time, the dungeons inside release monsters into our world. But humans have evolved to rise to the challenge, humans who could wield magic, and we saw the emergence of the awakened beings. Rapid changes threw the world into a state of confusion and chaos. But an awakened being named Wu Jinchul founded the Hunter Association and established hunters as an official occupation, which brought order back to the world faster than anyone could have imagined. The world is split into the awakened hunters and the non-awakened, normal civilians. Some people are like ants, having to claw their way forward to make anything of themselves. And then there are others who get to have everything just handed to them. In this new world, ants are always reminded of their limits. No matter how hard a non-awakened being tries, they will always be far weaker than even an E-rank hunter. The hunters stop sealing off gates, the world will come to an end. In other words, non-awakeners cannot survive without hunters. Hunters do not need non-awakeners to survive. That's why we are grateful to the hunters. Thanks to them that a non-awakened being like me can live a peaceful life. This life comes with its own set of fears. The fear of being accustomed to having to give up so many things. Missing parents. Ability to survive on my own without relying on others. Those days when I truly believed I could do anything. Gone. And in their place, a sense of powerlessness. With that, I recall what Mom used to say to me that I reminded her of Dad. Or how he would have dealt with this. Suho. A voice called out, jolting Suho out of his daze. Art professor. Really focused today, sung Suho. Drawing, the professor asked, leaning in with interest at Suho's work. Comfortable, Suho replied. It is just some freehand stuff I was doing. An ant? Very creative take on an ant, added the art professor. More like a sort of humanoid ant? Suho was confused as to why he was drawing something like it. It was as if it had been drawn by instinct, a sense of familiarity, despite never having laid eyes on it before. The gate began to shine with a bright glow, showing signs of the dungeon opening. Hunters began emerging from the dungeon. The crowd realized the hunters were in good spirits, which meant the mission had been a success. Great job, Hunter Kim Jong-soo, sir, said the dungeon engineer. The dungeon has been successfully cleared. I have some intel I need to report to the Hunter Association. We encountered a new species of monsters. It was a humanoid type with blue flames fuming from its eyes and mouth. They attacked us with their fangs and claws, but were not able to deal much damage. Though I just suffered a light scratch, it seems fine, so I doubt it was very powerful, said Hunter Kim Jong-soo. That certainly does not sound like any monster we have seen before. It is a good thing they were not very dangerous, replied the dungeon gate engineer. The wound Hunter Kim Jong-soo assumed to be small seemed fresh, and the bleeding was not stopping. The wound fumed with a blue flame. As soon as that happened, Hunter Kim Jong-soo felt like his body had been hit with a serious headache, causing him to drop his shield. His eyes turned purple. The other hunters did not immediately notice their comrade's strange behavior. The gate engineer called out for Hunter Kim, but he did not respond. He just stood there. Before the gate engineer could finish his words, Hunter Kim Jong-soo pounced on him. His face twisted into that of a creature, his mouth wide open. Biting into the neck of the gate engineer, blood splashed everywhere. The scene didn't escape the two hunters, who stood frozen, unable to process what was happening. This action alerted everyone around. Hunter Kim Jong-soo's eyes blazed with blue flames as he turned to look at the two hunters. The hunter recognized the blue flames as similar to the monsters from the dungeon. Before she could react, Hunter Kim Jong-soo had closed in on her in an instant, brutally ending her life as he chewed on her flesh. This scene terrified the bystanders, sending the crowd running for their lives. The already bitten humans turned into blue-flamed creatures, causing more casualties as more victims were infected. Loud screams echoed from the outside, drawing the attention of the students. They rushed to the window to see what was happening, but the sight before them sent shivers down their spines. Everyone wondered what was happening. The situation outside was so bad that one could mistake it for a dungeon break. The group debated whether to escape or stay inside, waiting for hunters to resolve the situation. The students pleaded with their art professor, Mr. Lim, to do something since he was a hunter, but Mr. Lim declined. "I am just an E rank," he said. Unbeknownst to them, one of the infected was on a higher building, spotting them easily. Sung Suo, realizing the creature's presence, was terrified as it climbed onto the ledge of the building. It crouched as if preparing for momentum. With a serious leap, it launched itself, alerting everyone in the art class. The infected dived straight toward them. Sung Suho's survival instincts kicked in. He dodged just as the infected closed in on the person behind him, unaware. The blue-flamed eyes, the mouth, and the cracked red skin sent tingles of fear and terror through the art students. "Everyone, run!" Sung Suo shouted as he bolted away while the infected was occupied, feeding on its victim. As he was escaping, he came across a girl struggling to free herself from the debris. "Help me!" the girl called out desperately. Sung Suho closed his eyes. This wasn't the time to act like a hero, it was the time to survive. He bolted out of the art room, reassuring himself that he would get the hunters. The girl reached out desperately for Suo to come back. "Damn it, what do you mean, you will get hunters? That is just an excuse to leave her to die there," Suho said to himself inwardly. But what can a non-awakened being like me even do? Non-awakened this, non-awakened that. Nothing is going to change if all I do is make excuses for myself. You have got to do what you can, Suho. What would Dad do in a situation like this? What would Dad's thoughts be? What would Dad's motives be if he were in my position, powerless? Would he have run away? The infected, having finished feasting, turned its gaze toward its next target, the terrified girl. She was unable to move, paralyzed by fear, tears uncontrollably streaming down her cheeks. The grotesque face of the infected blazed with blue flames as it bolted toward her without hesitation. It opened its mouth wide, ready to bite down. But something closed in from the opposite direction. It was Sung Suho. With a fire extinguisher, he slammed it into the infected's face with great force, sending it crashing. If Dad were here, he would dash. Before Suho could finish his thought, his vision flickered with static. The more the static intensified, the more unreadable words appeared before him. A system tab appeared with a notification. You have fulfilled all the requirements for the secret quest. The courage of the weak. A while back, I had a strange dream dash, a dream that felt so real, but also as if I was in a game. With every floor, the monsters only got stronger. And to defeat them, I had to level up, only to fight even more monsters. The stronger the monsters got, the stronger I had to become. After many battles, I finally reached the highest floor. There, I faced a being that seemed human, but its power and aura felt like that of a god, not of salvation, but of death. Even though he was my opponent, I couldn't help but be awed by his strength. But somehow, the final boss turned out to be my dear old father. I think the dream was a reflection of how I saw him. He was so strong and reliable, but I wonder how did he get that strong? Father, the man who was the shield of the family. How would you, Father, deal with an impossible situation like this? But my instincts tell me, this is what you would have done. The attack from the fire extinguisher pushed the infected back. Now what? Attacks from non-awakened civilians have no effect on monsters. I just rushed in without thinking of the consequences. It feels like something is driving me. What is this? Did time stop? Said Sung Suho, realizing everything had come to a pause. But then, system notification tabs popped up before him, similar to the ones he had seen in his dreams. If it is just like the one I saw in my dreams with this, I have no choice but to accept. As those words fell, the system integrated with Sung Suho. Congratulations. You have become a player. The qualification for the courage of the weak has been met. The blessing of the great spellcaster Candiaru. The great spellcaster Candiaru has gifted you a special blessing. As long as you have Candiaru's blessing, you will live a strong and healthy life. It has a permanent effect on health and longevity, making you immune to all diseases and poison. Your recovery rate will receive a massive boost while you sleep. The system is designed to assist the development of the player. This is not a dream, you only get one life. Proceed with caution. Sung Suho, Level 1. None. Fatiro, Title, Health Power 100, Mental Power, Strength 10, 10, Intelligence 10, Available Points none. Passive Skills none. Active Skills, the Commander's Authority, Level 1. After analyzing the System tab, Sung Suho was sure it was just like his dream. He had a stat window, just like in a game. Then another System tab popped up. Quest available. Tutorial quest. Defeat Mistburn monster and level up. Kill one more Mistburn monster to level up. 3 Mistburn monsters had risen. One of them was a D rank awakened. Sung Suho realized that the time freeze was ending. He warned the girl to run away immediately, and though she hesitated, she eventually agreed. Now I can see the names above their heads. 2 non-awakened Mistburns and a D rank awakened Mistburn. The 2 non-awakened monsters charged at Sung Suho. I have truly awakened. Very well, let us turn my dream into reality. Tossing the extinguisher toward one of the Mistburn monsters, Sung Suho watched as it dodged, just as he had anticipated. He had already prepared a well-placed uppercut. The punch connected perfectly, instantly launching the Mistburn into the air like a chandelier. Even Sung Suho was surprised by the power of his own punch. You have defeated a non-awakened Mistburn. Really? It ended with a single punch ? He muttered, comforting himself as the second non-awakened Mistburn charged at him. With a Michael Jackson-style spin, Sung Suho sliced the second Mistburn monster in half, instantly killing it and completing the tutorial. At that moment, the D-rank awakened Mistburn began to move. Your quest rewards have arrived. Will you accept the rewards? This proves it. I have truly awakened, Sung Suho thought as he landed a direct blow to the D-rank Mistburn. The same punch that had instantly killed the non-awakened Mistburns only made the D-rank monster's head tilt slightly, causing internal bleeding but no fatal damage. Seeing the D-rank Mistburn still standing, Sung Suho braced himself. The monster swung an attack, which he barely dodged. But the first attack had been a feint. The real strike came down instantly, slashing across Sung Suho's chest. Using the Mistburn monster as leverage, Sung Suho jumped backward, gaining distance. Terrified, he realized the horrifying truth: if he was injured by a Mistburn, it would not take long before he turned into one. The system detected an abnormal spirit status within Sung Suho, triggering the blessing of the great spellcaster Candiaru. Health and longevity activated. All danger nullified. Health and longevity, right? There was something about that in the status window, Sung Suho thought, still dazed by his regeneration. But he had completely forgotten about the D-rank awakened Mistburn. The monster lunged at Sung Suho, making him realize he could not afford to be careless. There has to be something I can do. ! He thought in desperation, period. Then he remembered his system rewards. He instantly accepted them. The following rewards are ready for collection. First reward, plus 5 ability points. Second reward, plus 3 strength points. Sung Suho's total strength increased from 10 to 14, making his body feel immensely more powerful. He immediately began to overpower the D-rank Mistburn, using its own weight against it to launch it backward. But the D-rank monster landed on its feet. Sung Suho wasn't going to let it recover. He closed in and delivered a powerful blow to its face. Yet it barely did any damage. The Mistburn retaliated, swiftly slashing Sung Suho's chest once again. Realizing that even with his increased strength, he still could not knock it out, he had no choice. He used all 5 of his ability points and added them into strength. No awakened has ever been able to level up before. An awakener's rank is determined at the moment they awaken. No one has ever surpassed their rank. I do not know who decides who awakens or what rank they get, but if I can break free from those limitations, surpassing levels beyond humanity's reach, then I am willing to push even further. No matter how deep this abyss goes, I will dive even deeper. They say if you gaze into the abyss gazes back at you. But now that the dungeons have gazed into our world, I will finally gaze back at the dungeons. You have defeated the D-rank awakened Mistburn. You have leveled up 3 times. Falling to the ground, Sung Suho processed what had just happened. I took down 2 non-awakened Mistburns and a D-rank awakened Mistburn barehanded. This proves it, I have truly awakened, and this isn't a dream, it's reality. I can do this. Now that I have awakened, I can save everyone. I can put an end to this nightmare. But something was approaching the building fast. A figure sprinted at an incredible speed and with great force launched itself into the air. Sung Suho, unaware of the incoming threat, looked outside to assess the situation. By the time he noticed the danger, it was already too late. A C-rank awakened Mistburn monster was before him, its sword swinging down. A great explosion erupted at the window of the art classroom.